Well, here we are. We've gone from immortal killing machines to beings that cannot move on our own.
Why am I still the shortest?
This is fudging bullshit.
Language, Leslie. You're a children's toy, remember?
Don't call me Leslie, you piece of.
Wait. Did you just say fudge?
Calm down, Carter. At least you're not a baby toy.
What do I have to be calm about? I have gone from being a bad rebel vampire to becoming a hot topic Care Bear. And if being a teddy bear wasn't bad enough, I had to be made even less dignified with this heart for a nose. And on top of that, I can't even swear properly anymore.
It ain't that bad being stitched and filled with fluff. I kind of dig the heart for a nose. It makes me more approachable.
You're still a werewolf. You don't get to talk.
Is that what I am? I thought I was just some sort of unspecific, non-threatening blob, like Zan is.
I'm a platypus idiot.
Shouldn't you be a more generic animal? Like a dog or some sheep?
Carter.
Stuff?
Yeah, your whole thing before being a blob was that you were completely outstanding.
It's an irony thing, Garth. Clanless vampires stood out because of their lack of quirks. Besides, Zan is cute, platypuses are cute. It's a lateral change.
Thanks, babe.
Wait, if we're going down this path, shouldn't I be a raccoon? Since they steal stuff? It would be more intimidating than a cat at least.
It's because you're a cutie.
Of course you're a cat. Raccoons are thistles, not daffodils, and my baby sister is a daffodil.
I'm not a daffodil.
Besides, I meant Zan had no outstanding traits as a person. Him being clanless was just the vampire curse reflecting that.
Fudge off, Garth.
Language, Alexander. You're a children's toy, remember?
I feel bloated.
How? You don't have a stomach anymore.
Is the stomach what makes you feel bloated? That doesn't sound right.
What else would get bloated, Garth?
I don't know. The colon? The intestines maybe? Do you think those would be gross to eat? Did Pisha avoid eating that part? Poor Pisha. Wait. If we're not vampires anymore, does this mean we can eat? Oh man, I can't wait to taste food again. I'm going to eat so much fruit. I don't even like fruit that much, I just miss it. Oh. I just remembered drinks. I think I'm going to have a cola first, or maybe a Faygo, or maybe a hot drink. Blood always felt of a lukewarm temperature for me, you know? Just imagine warming yourself up with some tea or—
That's a lot of information to unpack, and I'm not sure I want to.
Garth, feeling bloated is caused by the stomach, too. Beggars can't be choosers, so Pisha probably did eat the intestines, and we don't have those either, so how can Zan feel bloated? On a related note, since we don't have a digestive system, what with being stuffed animals because life hates me, we can't eat anything, so you won't be eating any fruit or drinking any tea. Are all the bases covered now?
Then why are we having a picnic?
I don't know.
I regret even bringing this up.
Do you ever wonder if someone touched us now that we are stuffed animals, if we would notice? We don't have nerves really anymore, so we wouldn't have anything to detect it.
Why would you say something like that?
Dude. That is fudging terrifying.
Do you think we would notice if someone picked us up?
Stop.
No, think about it. At this moment, without you knowing, someone could be holding you in their arms. It's kind of neat in a way. Life is more interesting with mysteries in it.
Oh. We could be getting a hug at any time. What a nice thought.
And even if you did know, what could you do about it? You'd just be stuck there. Being hugged. Forever.
Wouldn't we be able to see that we were elevated in that situation?
What if we were so distracted on the conversation that we didn't notice some passerby giving us affection?
Garth, I swear to whatever vampire god we believed in, if you're not telling us something.
Don't worry, Carter. If someone was interacting with you, we would tell you.
Thanks.
Eventually.
You. Do you guys remember when we could run super fast? Or when we had super strength and how cool that was? I miss being a vampire so much.
I don't remember the strength part to be honest, but you're right. Running really fast was pretty nice.
Well yeah, you were a thin blood, but you could still do some cool stuff.
Compulsion to pickpocket people aside, of course.
Of course.
Yeah? Remember how we used to exist in a cool modern gothic setting and be a part of a secret underworld kind of deal? And how special it made you feel? It was kind of like an R-rated Harry Potter.
Plus, we were physically able to cuss. I miss the simple things really.
Are we going to address your...
We're not.
Anyways, speaking of simple. I miss having thumbs.
Yeah? Those were the good old days. I agree with Carter, I miss being a vampire.
Dude, you called me Carter and not Leslie.
Don't get used to it. Leslie.
Well, at least we can agree being stuffed animals really stinks in comparison.
You guys realize we couldn't go out into the sun during those times, right?
I mean sure, but the trade-off was...
And like, to even exist we had to drink blood every few days. Either from drinking from someone's neck, or embezzling from the blood bank, or drinking blood straight from a rat. Which, we usually had to do because we were too awkward to sneak up on people and couldn't afford the blood bag prices.
Yeah, but...
And that modern gothic setting was also had a lot of politics to navigate. Which, from what I remember we were pretty bad at, so we were really low on the vampire political ladder.
We got by.
Guys. Zan was a clanless vampire, who got kicked out of the Vampire Wizard Club.
Come on, man.
Arya was a super weak vampire, who on top of that was tied to like, the 4th or 5th most jerk-ish clan. Carter was a guy trying way too hard to look tough and ended up being infamous for sucking up to the rebel leader, and me. A burnout who was a former Sabbat. We barely made it work. I prefer being a stuffed animal. It is way easier, we just get to hang out with each other without having to worry about suffering our final death.
I guess when you put it that way.
Talk about being a buzzkill, Garth.
Can we at least agree that having thumbs was pretty rad?
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah,
That's honestly what
totally.
I'm most upset about.
Arya, do you still love me even though I'm fat now?
What? Of course I do.
Do you really think Arya, daffodil that she is, would stop loving you just because you are around her now? We know you are not that dumb.
I'm not a daffodil.
Thanks, Garth. That means a lot to
I
me.
mean, she stuck with you when you were a hipster, not weed. If anything, you being a duck-billed blob is a massive improvement. Now you two can both be flowers, instead of a daffodil and a disgusting, hideous weed.
You are still wearing a V-neck though. If anything, you would lose points for that, not the weight gain.
You two were almost sweet there.
Before you ask, yes. I still love you in spite of the V-neck. Idiot.
Arya.
Seriously, why am I still the smallest?
To create an increased sense of juxtaposition with the rest of us?
As literary as that sounds, I'm pretty sure it's to match your character sheet.
We have those?
So you're telling me that being small, weak, and non-threatening is baked into my existence? What is this garbage?
Oh. What does mine say?
Well, on the plus side you were tall and strong. But the bad news is that you're absent-minded.
What?
It means you're dumb.
Oh.
It's okay, buddy. My sheet says one of my major flaws was a massive inferiority complex. Being absent-minded is way better than that.
I'd rather be insecure than some dumb muscle, who used to be part of the evil vampires faction until a tiny Arya gave me a rat.
I feel like that story requires more context than we're ever going to get.
Sniff.
Don't worry, Garth. It doesn't matter what your backstory is. What matters is that you chilled out and spent the story being a friendly NPC.
I guess.
Would it make you feel better if we looked at Zan's character sheet?
Yeah, I think it would.
Dude.
Dude, if this is what it takes, this is what it takes. Just take one for the team.
Zan, we're only doing this because we know you'll be able to take it. Do you really want to deal with a depressed Garth?
Fine.
That's the spirit. Let's see here.
By the looks of it, Zan's major flaw was arrogant, which caused people who didn't know him to instantly like him less. So there'd be added difficulty to any situation that would require him to be personable. That's kind of funny, right?
Sounds accurate. What else?
He got a -2 on all site-related roles. That's kind of lame.
Plus there was that whole part of his backstory, where he tried to join the Order of the Wizard Vampires. Yes, that was a thing, because his sire was a wizard vampire, but then they kicked him out when they found out he was clanless. He got booted by the nerd vampires. How do you manage that?
I hate all of you.
I'd still rather have Zan's nerd backstory than mine. Thanks anyways.
Do you guys think Arya could fit in the picnic basket?
Why do you have to kick me when I'm down?
Because these thought experiments make me feel less depressed about being a stuffed animal. Anyways, in fairness, when we were human-sized I would ask the same thing. It is a big basket and you have always been very small.
I wouldn't have fit in the basket.
You used the past tense there. Are you saying you would fit in it now?
Come on guys, leave her alone.
Thanks big bro.
Just use your imagination. Of course she could fit in there now. It's a very easy image to conjure up.
Oh come on.
As much as being a stuffed animal blows, and trust me it totally blows, I'm glad that I still get to hang out with you guys. I can't imagine how much more depressing it would be if I was stuck as a teddy bear alone.
Aw, I'm glad we're together too, Carter.
Wow, those hard root beers getting to you, pal?
Fudge you, man. I was trying to be genuine and you have the nerve to fire back a witty response? What the heck?
Sorry, it just came out of left field is all. If it's any consolation, I'm glad I'm still stuck with you guys too. Though objectively, I'm not sure if it's actually more tolerable than being alone.
Would it kill you to be genuine, Zan? I'm starting to understand the arrogant thing.
Probably. You're the one who's still with me.
Yeah. I guess it wouldn't be you otherwise, you dope.
Arya, you could do so much better. But I'm glad you're here with us, Zan. Of all the pseudo-trauma I've ever had to deal with, you're the one I hate the least.
Holy shift, bro. That's the nicest thing you've ever said to me. Of all the lazy, stoner vampires, you're the one I hate the least too.
And you were making fun of me for being too sincere.
Right?
Don't get me wrong, I can tolerate Zan, but I actually love you guys. It would be awful if it was just me and Zan. Together, stitched and fluff-filled. Being unable to hit one another, so we'd just be staring at each other angrily. Forever.
I second that. Being alone would be so much better than being a stuffed animal just with Garth.
Point being, Carter, Arya. I love you.
I'm not going to say it back, but me too, I guess.
That means so much to me.